Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com. Bringing another tie-in video this week. This week it's a worm pattern, going to be a nymph pattern, a great anchor fly for you. Very similar to a Vladi Worm in style. I saw it in a book the way I found it, and I really liked the looks of it, tied some, and just love how they look. The way I found it was in a book, and they called it a San Juan worm, and it is not a San Juan worm. The one they used stretch tubing, and it looked good, but I thought I wanted to try it with vinyl D-rib. So I'm going to call it the vinyl worm because I use vinyl D-rib to tie it. Simple, you can change the color underneath, change the color of ribbing on top too. So mess around, see what color you like. Maybe use some browns, or even a green would work if you want to try something different and flashy. Have fun time, that's what it's all about, an experiment. So anyways guys, here you're going to see the vinyl worm in a picture of it, and then the material list to tie it. Alright, here you see the vinyl worm in the vise, really easy to tie. Let's get into tying it. For a hook, I'm using a Daiichi. This is an 1870. You could tie it on a 1772, that would work nice too. But I'm tying it in an 1870 size 8. Next thing I'm going to put on is some lead. And I'm going to actually counter rib the lead. So normally I go over top and spin away from me, which towards the camera. But this time I'm going to go underneath, and I'm going to wrap it towards me. Over the top, it'll be coming towards me. And I had a customer come in the shop a couple weeks ago and suggested that I try it that way. And I tried it on this fly, and it works a lot better for me. So I'm going to put, 20-25 wraps on there. It's more about the length than it is how many wraps exactly. You see there, it's a little bit loose, so I'm just going to squeeze them together. And I want this to be a really good healthy eye length behind the eye. And then I want it to stop back in this area somewhere. By counter wrapping, I can pop that off, and it comes off real nice and smooth. Now where the counter wrapping comes into effect is right here. Whenever I go to blend this in, it just rides right up on that. A lot nicer than if I do it the other way. So I'm very thankful for that guy's suggestion, and it works great. So what I'm adding now is some 140 Denier red thread, and I'm just going to cover up this lead here. Just going to go back and forth. Try not to go back over the edge much of your lead, and just try to get most of the lead covered up, and then you'll finish it off here in a minute. I like to hold my hook just to keep it from wobbling a little bit. You don't have to, but just makes your wraps a little tighter. Next thing we're going to add is some vinyl D-rib. This is amber in the medium size, and you'll notice I'm putting it on a bobbin. By putting it on a bobbin, it allows me to allows me to save it. If I cut it short, if I cut it long, and then just use one piece off the bobbin, I tend to waste more. So I have less waste by putting it on the bobbin. And you see I'm going to start it right there behind that lead, so I can get a nice blend due to the thickness of the D-rib right into that lead. And then I'm going to go back around the hook a little bit. Once I get that tied on there, I'm going to smooth this transition out. And then I'm going to make sure that I have everything covered and no lead showing through. So for me, I just roll my rotary vise around there, make sure I get it all. Now, you don't have to do this stage, but if you want to, it looks cool. So I like to, real quick, just whip finish that off, cut my thread off, and then I'm going to come in with some, this is just 70 Denier Shell Pink. And I'm going to make a little collar on this. I'm going to go about 1/3 of the way back. And I'm going to make an eighth of an inch to like 3/16 of an inch little collar on here. And then I'll whip finish that off. And then get my thread out of the way. Then we're going to come back in, tie back on my red thread. I'm going to do a quick little half hitch because I'm going to use my rotary tool here. So that little half hitch will keep it from unwinding. And then I'm going to use my rotary tool. You don't have to if you don't have one, but it makes it a lot quicker. And I'm just going to start wrapping this side by side wraps. You could use clear here. I just like the color that the amber and the red make. It gives it a really light brown, natural looking color. So use clear or amber, either one. Just make sure you get nice tight wraps there. And get that nice rib segmented body on there. And then we're going to stop right behind the eye. Oops. And wrap this off. Trim that off nice and close, and then make a nice finish wrap here. Build up a little bit of a head, but make it nice and clean. There we go. And then I like to finish it with a little bit of Solarez Bone Dry. Just give it a night. You can use Sally Hansen, whatever you have here. Just finish it off with a nice little polished head. And that is all there is to this very simple fly. Nice anchor fly for you. Alright guys, I hope you like that simple fly. Easy one to tie and looks tremendous. I mean, it just looks like a fish catcher. And if you're into the Euro nymphing and that kind of stuff, you need an anchor fly, something that's going to get you down. It's got lots of lead and streamlined, tapered, nothing hanging off of it. So it's going to go right to the bottom for you. So, you know, that's why the guys use them. Like I said, it's a variation of a Vladi Worm. If you know what that is, using the condom, this one, except you don't have to go find the unlubed condoms and stuff. So you don't have to embarrass yourself at the department store. So a lot better to tie it easier this way because you probably have the materials for it. Experiment, like I said, use clear instead of amber if you want to. Maybe tie some brown thread underneath it, make it more of a brown, natural colored worm, whatever you want. It would also shorten it up a little bit. Go with like a tan. It would make a great crane fly larva imitation too. So I just now thought of that one. Anyways, guys, any of the material, like always, please head on over to our website at holsingersflyshop.com, and you can find everything you need there to tie this pattern and others. So thanks for watching, guys. Until next week when I bring you another video, I'm Sean Holsinger.